Hello, America. It's time to check the nonsense at the door, clear the cobwebs between your ears, and have a rational-ish conversation. This is the lost art of common sense.
That's right, America. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Josh.
And this is the lost art of common sense. Today we'll be talking about possible reptilian Elon Musk. Is he a reptilian, or is he a communist, socialist, or just a weird ass dude? We'll find out hopefully by the end of this episode.
Only one of those three things.
Nope, that's it. That's all I give you. So, Josh, who is Elon Musk, and where did he come from? How did he make his fortune? Stuff like that.
Well, from my understanding on, the paperwork, Elon Musk was born in South Africa, came to the U.S. I think he studied over here, and then he, majored in business. The only thing I really know about him is he either was the founder or one of the co-founders of PayPal, and I don't know if there's some kind of weird falling out, but they got bought out by eBay, and I think that's where he got his initial seed money as far as being rich. Then he started Tesla and
I don't
SpaceX.
think he started Tesla. I think he kind of bought into it and became the CEO, right?
I don't know. Did he? I thought he owned it.
I thought Tesla was already a thing, and he kind of bought. I know he started SpaceX, but I thought for some reason he bought into Tesla. Like he didn't.
Maybe he did. Maybe that's where he got that taste for taxpayer subsidies.
Yeah,
because that's all SpaceX is. It's like private space flight that's funded by the federal government.
But yeah, I mean, the government's still saving money compared to what they used to spend on NASA.
Yeah, I mean, I think farming that's especially because of how he with the SpaceX thing, he did pioneer instead of shooting the shuttle off into space, the booster rockets that are used to get it up there, they're garbage. He's like, hey, why don't we make it to where they come back and we can reuse them?
It's weird that it took one person to be like, that seems like a huge waste.
Well, I'm assuming they're not made out of aluminum. It's probably pretty expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're just chucking. And then where do they go? I know they normally launch in Houston, so do they fall in the Gulf?
Maybe. I mean, do they recover them?
I would think so. But...
Right? Or are they just stuck in the atmosphere or in the, orbiting Earth?
I don't know.
I know nothing about actual space travel.
He was an early investor in Tesla.
Oh, okay.
I just looked it up with my mind. I do not have his bio open on my other screen.
No, it just came to me in radio waves.
Early investor. But yeah, that is either one path he took, or he was deposited as a reptilian in South America. And
that's what
came up through there.
That's probably the actual truth.
And he now this is just opinion. Don't go suing me, Mr. Billionaire guy. But that's what so it's either he's a reptilian or Asperger's.
He does have Asperger's, right?
Well, that's what they say.
That's what he says, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say. I mean, that could be a good cover because,
yeah,
aliens probably act different.
Yeah, I'm sure a reptilian doesn't act like a normal human.
I'm just saying. That's the rumor, is he's a reptilian. See, he was born in 1971 on the third moon of Uranus.
It's called Dingleberry.
That's why I like how you can edit Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my understanding. And then apparently he's for free speech, and that's why he got into Twitter, but I don't know. Yeah. There's been some stories and some speeches he gave that kind of, I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, he's done a lot of good. I think SpaceX is a good venture. I think Starlink, that's a good idea to where, people in rural areas and poverty-stricken nations can still get the internet.
You know why he invented Starlink, right?
Because he hates Mediacom? I don't know.
No.
That's why
Starlink
I
is
would.
purely for telecommunication between Earth and Mars.
Oh, is it?
That's what, from my understanding, that's what that's actually for.
It's just
Constant communication with Mars, but you can
it's
also use it. That's why when the Tesla phone comes out, I kind of want to get one because it's a sat phone.
yeah.
Like it's not cellular, it's a sat phone. So you'll have
Yeah,
a
it uses
signal literally
Starlink,
anywhere.
right? It uses Starlink for
Yep.
communication.
But that's my
pretty
understanding.
cool.
Starlink was actually developed as a precursor to the missions he wants to make to Mars so they can do I don't know if they're doing laser communication or how that shit works, but
Right? I
that's my
have no.
understanding.
I mean, is the Tesla phone going to be made up like the Tesla car, where it's good, some good parts, but there's also going to be crappily made?
It's gonna be made out of like Fisher Price plastic.
Yeah, and there's going to be big old gaps in it.
Could be. Could be. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to whether or not Tesla added money to their cars like everybody else did. Strangely, I think if you take the government subsidies for buying an electric car, you actually get like $5 off because like Ford and GM raised the price like $6,995.
No shit.
Yeah, yeah. That's why electric cars are fun, but they're a joke and they're impractical.
They are impractical. I mean, I'm sure they'd be nice. It'd be nice if I had enough money. I'd own one for sure.
It is nice though that we're within 3 months of election and all the fuel prices are going down. No coincidence whatsoever, but it is nice.
Well, I like how they take credit for it when it goes down, but not the whole time it was going up.
We can't control the gas prices. I
We
made
can-
that happen.
But it's still way up. I mean, I think I'm still paying. Just regular, still like $3.50, $3.60,
Yeah, I think
which is still $1.60 more than I paid in January of 2020.
diesel's still $2 above what I was paying before the evil orange man left.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, a lot of people have been talking because he did an op-ed on the Chinese Communist Party's like, I think it's their website or it's their newspaper or whatever news outlet. And basically what he did was he was praising the CCP for, is that what it is? CCP, I think so. Yeah. So he was for their green initiative, their electric cars, and their renewable energy. Like he praised them. And this seems far from the truth because, China's like the leading polluter in the world. So what is he doing this for? Is this like, did he do it for like to get in with the Chinese to, maybe some of their natural resources or, get some funding from China? Or, I mean, what do you think? Why would he do this?
The only thing I can think of is if he wants to lower the cost of Tesla for one, taking it over to the China to have them manufactured will help because he's like, I could have sworn he said he's a pretty good fan of like how things are done in China, which is just like an ass hair above indentured
Slavery?
servitude or slavery.
They do. Well, I mean, they do have concentration camps, so I'm sure.
Well, hell, I heard
there.
I heard that people that work like build the Apple phones and all that stuff, they live where they work.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
They're
sure
like-
they have cots or something, and they just wake up.
They might be apartments and stuff, but I think they're like communities. So it's like
Really?
you live where you work. I think.
That sounds.
I
right,
would
though.
start referencing, but then we got to do it all the time. That's why I'm not going to say anything we say is fact or necessarily correct, unless
Yeah,
you know for sure. But
yeah.
I'm still not going to put my references.
No. So, as far as we know, that is not true, but it's probably true.
It's like a fun game for our listeners. Is
Yeah.
anything they said accurate? I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up. I mean, I look up shit when I'm watching movies all the time.
Yeah.
So you can just do that while you're driving and listening to us. Be completely distracted from the road.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that's good.
It's the safest way to drive.
Well,
If you're in a Tesla, it can do a drive for yourself. Or you can pretend you're in a Tesla and just let go of the wheel and look stuff up.
I thought I had autopilot. No, that's just cruise control.
Yeah.
It doesn't steer the car.
What? Oh, that's crazy.
Now, I think I don't get what he was saying about that stuff because there's no way that China could run their economy, especially with their population, with renewables, and they're not. Like they're putting in more coal-fired power plants than anyone in the world. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They're building them right now.
Yeah, it doesn't make. I don't get where he was saying that. Now, who's to say that that speech wasn't given to him? Like, I mean, China's going around the world cornering the market on precious metals, all the stuff needed for batteries and stuff like that. So yeah, he probably signed some pretty sweet deal with them. Like, look, we'll build your cars. Like Tesla's millionth car built was made in China.
Yeah, so maybe like, hey, if you read this, we'll give you a discount on stuff. You don't know. I mean, it's communism. They're not going to let the truth escape.
Well, and if you're a businessman, you probably do like him and your manufacturer. You can probably look at the communist model and be like, you know what, that's not too bad. You tell someone, you tell a guy that you need this made up, and he makes all the underlings make it happen. That
Yeah.
works pretty good.
You just get paid enough to live, and that's it.
And I'm pretty sure
Barely.
Tesla was one of the companies too that are paying people to have abortions.
Yes, they are, because it's cheaper to.
We can't have you having babies.
Yeah,
We need to have you
It's easier
back
it's,
to work.
It's cheaper for them to have you get that baby sucked out.
Yeah.
Than
See,
to
that's
take
what
months off
that's what I
for
don't
maternity
understand.
care.
Well, I don't get he seems like he's a champion for free speech. Like he's a globalist. He's a straight up globalist. I don't think he's a globalist as much as like the World Economic Forum
With the fucking Bond villain.
You'll nothing like it.
Von, what is his name? Like Adolf something.
It's a
a very
Bond
evil
villain
name. Yeah, it's an evil name. I can't remember his name.
Take it off the head.
Was it Hans? No.
It is Hans something.
Yeah.
It's like Hans Grutzenvirus.
Yeah, it's like Hans Gruber and fucking Die Hard.
What's up, Hans? I don't understand words anymore, so I made a shit ton of bad movies.
So do you think he's like a communist or a socialist, or do you think he's just out for himself? He just kind of goes with whatever the market dictates he needs to go to?
Well, I think it's Klaus Schwab.
Klaus, yeah, that's right.
Klaus
Schwab.
I don't know, because like I don't think he's a globalist in the traditional sense of it. I think he's a globalist as he sees the world population as one thing, because he thinks off planet. He thinks planetary. He doesn't think country, stuff like that. So it's hard to tell. Like, is he a communist? I mean, I don't know. I actually don't think he's a communist. I know there's a lot of people coming out now because he's cozying up with China. So he's a communist. I just don't think he's the guy that everybody needs to be looking to save the day. He's not coming to America's rescue anytime soon.
No. So, I mean, do you think he's like, I mean, if you were to call it politically, because he is in the U.S., would you call him more left or right or center or?
I'd say he's independent. I mean, he was, I think that little diagram you showed a while back kind of explains it. I think he was probably center left, and then the left went balls out crazy, and he kind of stayed where he was. So that's why I think he'll flip one way or the other. I mean, anybody with half a brain, I don't care if you're a businessman, if you're a long-term, like Elon Musk is thinking 50, 100 years down the road. That's how he thinks. Like that's when he's thinking of all these ideas. So if you're thinking that way and you look at the way the left's going, and even he might, I don't know what his thoughts are on the World Economic Forum, but as far as the United States goes and the way the left is taking this country,
well, he didn't go to it, did he?
I don't know. I don't think so. But unless you're like, mentally handicapped, no one can look at the way the left is taking the country and be like, you know what? That's going to be great for business. I'm going to back this shit all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for people that only, if you're looking at short-term gain, like I'm going to be rich. And like, if if these people, here's what I'm assuming is happening: all these people that are betraying the country and backing all this stupid woke ESG shit, they're developing generational wealth to where their family, their descendants will be taken care of. So they don't give a shit. They don't care what happens to the country because they're thinking right here. They're thinking right here for themselves, short-term gain, but they're gaining enough to where their descendants will probably be fine, where Elon Musk is thinking way down. And he's not thinking about his own personal wealth, because when you're worth over $200 billion, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. You're wiping your ass with titanium cloth.
Well, it's funny. It's funny, like that ESG shit, because I think I don't even think he was top 50 in ESG scores, even though he owns the largest electric car company. Like Tesla wasn't in the top 50 for ESG scores, even though they're the largest electric car company in the world.
Yeah, but isn't he non-union? That probably has something to do with it too.
I think he's non-union.
I think Tesla's non-union. That could.
I don't know. I don't know though, because they started in California. Did they just? So they'd had to be, right?
I don't think so.
Can't cut. I mean, I'm sure not all California's union, but I'm sure.
I don't think there's anything that can require you to be in a union. If he's sourcing and building his own stuff, as long as
I think
get
certain
people
state
to work
laws
for him.
can. Certain state laws, if you have a certain amount of votes from your employees.
Well, yeah, I know that. Like if the company, like I think if they want to go union, then you have to. But then he could always be like, all right, well, if you vote to go union, I'm closing the factory down. You're all gonna be fucked anyway. So
yeah, and that's usually what happens.
I mean, if I own a company and I thought that going union was going to hurt the company, that's what I would do. It's like, all right, well, if you go union, I'm just closing the shop down.
Oh, ESG is environmental safety guidelines. Is that what it is?
ESG.
Environmental safety guidelines.
I don't think that's
Is that what it is?
No.
Look it up. Get your brain waves going and see what happens.
Psychically.
I just want to let you know that people can obviously see your typing.
No, this is where I
we saw the computer screen change. We can see the color of your, like, everything got brighter.
No, that's my idea coming in. That's my brainwaves.
Oh, that's the bing.
I'd say boom.
That's
environmental, social, and governance.
Yeah. So, well, maybe the social part is the union part.
But like all that crap. Well, and I don't know. I think it's kind of slowly falling apart. Actually, states are fighting back against it. A couple countries have completely collapsed under it.
Yeah. So, I mean, what was that one? Not Singapore.
Sri Lanka.
That's right.
Where they kicked the president out and went swimming in his pool. I bet somebody shit in that pool too.
Somebody definitely took a shit somewhere in that house they weren't supposed to. They probably put a couple of upper deckers in his toilet.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, I'm going to get him. Then you come back and I'm like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. So, oh, there's poop in the tank.
There's a couple of piss walls, I can tell you that.
I bet there's piss walls and balls and vases. Why do all the plants have such a weird color to them?
Why does it smell like ammonia in here?
I never even heard anything about that. Like, that's the other thing where, like,
well, that's because it doesn't make the whole, like.
But even like Tucker, though, he'll bring the story up and he never has any follow up.
Yeah,
Did the president come back? Did they murder a bunch of people?
Right,
because the country back over?
No, I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Huh.
We're going to have to dig into the coffers and send you over there, Kevin. Live reporting from Sri Lanka.
I'll go over there. Hell yeah, I'll go over there.
Head on over to Locals and check out our 2020 and current election status reaction video to help Kevin go to Sri Lanka. It's behind the paywall. Come on.
Yes, it's very cheap, and I think you can do a monthly subscription.
You can do one-time, monthly, whatever, but it's worth it. It
is worth it. So go over there. We had pretty good thoughts. I think it was a pretty good episode.
I did. I almost shared it, but we can't share it to YouTube. I don't know about Spotify and how they react to this stuff.
I don't think because they had Louder Crowder up. I didn't do anything about that. So them, Apple, all that stuff.
Well, see, and that's another thing. Like, I mean, I think it could have potentially been good if Elon Musk bought Twitter, but like, that's the problem. We have these 5 companies between Facebook / Meta. I'm a dumbass, and I'm going to change the name of my country. Or I'm a company to try to fool people into thinking that Meta has something to do with the metaverse. And it does, but they're trying to make them like, oh no, we're Meta. Between that, Twitter, Twitter's not really that big of a thing. It just happens to be currently the most popular soapbox or whatever for getting celebrities and politicians getting their message out. But Google, YouTube, you know, like they're the ones stifling speech. I mean, hell, Crowder got booted from YouTube because of something that his guest said.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that later.
So I don't know. I'm just saying. But like he seemed like, I think if he would have taken over Twitter, I can't see it being a bad thing.
No, well, I think because I think what he pretty much is going to do is, obviously certain hate speech it was not going to be allowed. But basically anything politically, he wasn't going to censor anybody politically. People have to learn to think for themselves, not to if social media has to ban something, and if you're, I guess if you're so easily persuaded by something you saw on Facebook or Twitter, then I don't know, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, if you can't look something up for yourself or listen to a speech, or if you're not vetting your candidates for politics, anyways, you're just voting off just if you don't know that like what their stance is on anything is, you're just voting for R or D or whatever. You're not doing the job you should be doing as an American citizen. You should align your values with the person you're voting for. Whatever, if it's a Democrat or Republican or independent or whatever, you should never just vote off of what Twitter tells you to.
Yeah, you're pretty safe and not just totally screwing over your grandkids and great grandkids if you vote Republican. But you do got to pay attention with them though, because like Mitch McConnell's a piece of shit. So
Kevin McCarthy's not much better.
Yeah, but like Kevin McCarthy didn't come out and be like, "Well, you know what? We're probably going to lose some seats." I mean,
yeah,
Chicago should have came out and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna boil a bottle of water."
I need some of that cocaine, old cocaine Mitch.
Cocaine Mitch. Apparently, excessive use of cocaine makes your face melt.
I guess. So
yeah, I don't know. But like people like that should not like. If the Republicans take the Senate back, they need to not elect him as a majority leader. That guy is a worthless piece of shit.
I know.
Like Trump said, his crazy wife and him making money off of China.
Basically, I'm sure they're making money out of fucking Ukraine too.
Well, I know they're making money out of China because she owns a Chinese shipping company. So, there's that.
Is she Chinese?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
I didn't know if he had got himself an Asian
possibly.
Woman.
Let's see.
Is Mitch McConnell's wife an Asian person?
Mitch McConnell wife. Boom. She is Asian.
Is she like 22?
Elaine Chow or Cho.
Is she like 22?
She looks much younger and less face melty than him.
Well, he probably bought her. I'm not such a say things like
that. What? Mail order. There's a difference. God. He was married to a Cheryl Rendon from 1968 to 1980.
What time? When did he get?
He got married to Elaine in 1993.
So she probably already had money.
I don't know how old this picture is, but she looks exceedingly younger than him.
She was probably 18 when she married him.
Well, she was born
in 1980.
1953.
Really?
No. Well, I don't know how old this picture is.
Has it been black and white?
No, it's color. It looks, it's the picture on Wikipedia.
So it's probably like they usually have a little caption underneath it when the picture was taken.
Well, okay, so she was born in 1953. Man, McConnell was born 42, so he's still 11 years older than her.
Yeah.
Which isn't a big deal.
Yeah, but he looks like he's 150.
I know. Life has not been good. It's all that cocaine.
Yeah. You know,
All right, back to Musk.
Okay, yeah. So, so do you think Elon Musk is out for himself, or do you think he's actually out to help the human race?
I think he's out for the advancement of the human race. I don't think he's actually out for the betterment of individuals. I think Elon Musk thinks as a whole.
Yeah, so
Like I don't think he sees individuals. I think he sees, like, I think he is out for the betterment and the advancement of the human race, but I don't think he's like, I want to help the bottom up. You know, I don't think he's not on some kind of crusade for that.
No, I think. Well, I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, for the human race to survive, you have to be multi-planet. There's no way, because there's just too many things that can happen: asteroids, giant solar flares, gamma ray bursts, stuff like that can destroy the world.
Well,
And
and even if we make it through all that, when the sun goes supernova,
yeah,
or even before that, when the sun turns into a red dwarf, it's going to consume the Earth. So
yeah, so
a red giant.
I think Mars is just right past it, so we can still survive. I think that's still habitable. But I mean, it's still even.
No, we need to leave the solar system.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think a white dwarf star is going to sustain.
No, but like
life.
any species that's going to survive like long term, like eons, is got to become multi-planetary, multi-solar system, possibly multiple galaxies. Even though, unless we figure out like actual wormhole technology, like not doing Event Horizon and jumping into hell, but
I think warp drive might be able to do it.
No, well,
I think they said that too, for warp drive to even exist, they had to have more power than what has been produced in the universe so far.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think I mean, it's mathematically.
It's super hard to bend space, I think.
Well, because you're separating yourself from space time. That's how you don't have time dilation while you're in the warp bubble.
Yeah, but everybody.
Otherwise, you'd be flying into the future.
Yeah.
What?
That's right. That's right. Because it doesn't dilate the time or whatever.
Yeah, you don't suffer time dilation when you're in a warp bubble.
So,
it's when you're not in a warp bubble.
Yeah.
See, what they don't tell you is in Star Trek, when they were going full impulse is just under the speed of light, they were suffering time dilation. Because I think if you went around, what did someone say? Stephen Hawking had a good video on time travel stuff. And if you were like on a train, I think for like a year, moving it just under the speed of light, when you got done, you'd be like 100 years in the future or some shit. So, but like, there's a video you can look up on YouTube on what it looks like. And it's, like if you're flying from the sun through the solar system at the, say, warp 8, it's supposed to be super fast. See all these stars flying by you. I guarantee you that is not what that looks like, because they show it and it's like, it's moving fast, but it still like takes like, I mean, it's not like, boom, you're gone. It's like it still takes like, you got to think, let's say it takes 5 minutes to get from the sun completely out of the solar system. That's a huge amount of space, but still it's 5 minutes. And that's just to get out of your solar system.
Yeah. So it's going to take you like, to get to the next solar system, which is 4 light years away, you would have to think will still take, at that speed, would take days still to get there.
Yeah, and I don't know what all that science fiction stuff, which we will be having an episode, Star Trek versus Star Wars versus Orville versus Galaxy Quest. But I'm not exactly sure. Like, I guess warp 8 is 8 times the speed of light.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if it's a light year, then you divide that by 8, and that's how long it takes you to get there. So it's still a while.
That's still a long time.
So that's why there's no way that we can, and that's why they say with the
it might take 2 months to get to the next.
It could.
I'm not doing the math.
Well, with the constant expansion of the universe, though, it's going to be to a point. There's 1 or 2 galaxies, I think we're in. It's either 2 or 3 that are kind of stuck in a synchronous orbit. So they'll stay together. But at a certain point, that's all we'll have. You won't be able to see anything past that because it'll be too far away, unless they can somehow figure out.
I think there's a certain point
or open gateways or.
I think once you go travel outside our galaxy cluster or whatever it is, we're kind of moving towards each other instead of like when the point when galaxies start moving away from you is the point that you'll never reach another galaxy ever, no matter how fast you go. If you go 100 times the speed of light, you'll still never reach it because it'll constantly move as fast as you are. It's a weird science thing that's super crazy.
That's why you got to break it with gateways.
Well, you need like wormholes.
Stargate.
Yeah.
But then
align the chakras. Wasn't it the chakras?
Yeah, but Stargate only works if you're already there.
Don't you need a gate there too?
Maybe Elon knows the gate to his homeworld. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got to build it.
It's the third moon off Uranus. It's called the Dingleberry.
You got to align the berries and it opens the gateway. Yeah, but like I think to get back to the point, I think he is like the advancement of human society. But even like communists can be for the advancement of human society, the human race. But there's a lot of people being oppressed during that. And we've already proven if you have a free society, people can say, well, yeah, it's messy. It can be dangerous. Obviously we're kind of pompous and we can be assholes. But America has advanced technologically faster than anybody else on the planet.
Yes, absolutely.
Technically, or not technically.
Technologically.
Yeah, technologically.
Yeah, there you go.
And economically, all that because of freedom. Yeah, that's why that was allowed to happen. Now, granted, you got to keep it in check because people take advantage of it. You could argue that BlackRock is. Am I allowed to say that?
You are not.
We're banned.
We're going to be banned, or somebody.
We're going to only get 4 views on this one.
Somehow. That's why, everybody, make sure to go to Rumble to watch our videos.
That's right.
We're going to post on YouTube, but we prefer if everybody just watch on Rumble because
that way you don't got to make the switch. You're already there.
Yeah. So we're going to start. Everything we post is going to be our Rumble link. But if you're already a YouTube subscriber, it's not that hard. Just go over to the other one, subscribe over at Rumble. Same name, same everything.
Oh, and Elon Musk is also the guy who's developing integration of technology and humans.
Yes. I think like what I see in the next probably 10 years, we're going to have like augmented reality to where you put glasses on and there's going to be like point at stuff and it can like you can buy stuff just by pointing at it or something. It'll ship to your house or, like if you do GPS, it'll be like you put the glasses on, it'll just be like a line that shows you where to go. Like if you're walking or even driving, like it like instead of like also like conference calling, there'll be like you'll actually see the person or the people that you're talking to.
And I'm sure that will not cause society to get any fatter than it already is.
Well, you'd think you'd want to look better,
No, because if you're online, you can make yourself look like whatever you want.
You're going to call somebody and they're going to be like naked. Like, no.
Maybe it's because we are
you
Gen
probably
X.
Have an avatar.
Well, we're not really Gen X. We're that mini generation that grew up with and without computers. I love the movie Ready Player One. I think that would be cool as shit. Total immersive, realistic virtual reality.
Yeah.
Cool as shit.
See, this will be more like Free Guy when he puts the glasses on.
Yeah. Well, but that's the stuff he's working. He's working with putting electrodes in your brain and shit.
I don't want that.
No, I wouldn't want to do that. Because then they can control you.
Yeah.
But I think that stuff's cool as shit. But I wouldn't be one of these people from the movie Gamer, which I bring up quite a bit because it's so funny, where I'm morbidly obese fisting waffles in a paint can full of syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you go fishing
waffles.
and hunting and barbecue. I like to barbecue. I like being outside doing stuff. Like I'm not addicted to video games. Like I'll buy my last video game system I bought was a PS3 Gen 1. Got the fatty. I'm trying to buy a PS5, but
like everyone else in America.
I know. I missed out on that one thing. I thought, ooh, I'm gonna get one.
Oh yeah, see, I had my name on a list too, but then they never called me or got hold of me.
And I'm pretty sure when they're sold out, the list starts over.
Yes, I'm almost positive because I should have been called by
That
now.
that shit has been out for like what, 3 or 4 years now?
I think at least a year, 2 years.
Yeah,
They're
this is
making another
bullshit.
one. They're making another
Yeah,
version.
this is bullshit. So I'm just gonna wait because like I only have 2 games, really one game, Civilization, that I play on my PS3. I don't play a lot of video games. I like being outside, but I think like that Ready Player One, metaverse stuff would be cool as like entertainment.
Yeah.
But there are people I guarantee they'll just live in that shit because
Oh yeah.
they have no sense of self. They have no self worth.
Well, that's what's going
They're
on with society.
losers.
That's what happens. That's what's happening with kids today. I mean,
Mhm.
let's be honest: is social media is ruining kids' lives.
That's
So,
100% ruining kids' lives.
I saw on CBS they had a thing about kids are not exercising as much because of global warming because it's too hot out. And the guy's like, no, I think it's because kids just stay inside all day playing video games and on social media. Like, there's like one guy like on CBS, like, this is dumb. Like that's not the reason, but they're trying to push certain, like, there's some articles saying it was because of global warming. They brought
Have
it.
you seen that? No, the problem is parents are lazy and they're probably overly protective because they just plop their kids out in front. They don't. I don't think parents with not saying all parents, but if you have a kid that sit around on the fucking internet, video games all day, you're not paying attention to them. You've checked out and you're letting that raise and monitor your kid.
I'll tell you what, on video games, they're not good people.
No, they're jerks.
I've watched a few videos of people being just horrible.
I've seen how Nude Master acted in Infinity Wars
Yeah, Noob Master
or
yeah.
Endgame,
Yeah,
where Thor had to rip.
He called me a dick again.
I'll fly over there and I'll rip your arms off and I'll shove up your butt.
Yeah. So,
Movie reference.
yeah. I mean,
No, I think that's why I saw that. Did you ever see a thing on Facebook where it was talking about I wouldn't want to mess with a Gen Xer. Like they were out of the house like at dawn, didn't come back till the streetlights came on, drank water from a garden hose, dodged like at least 8 child abductions.
yeah.
It's like the funny thing, I was reading, I'm like, yeah. That's what
this pretty much described my childhood. Yeah,
I think I only had like 1 or 2 kind of like creeps. We're like, "Hey, I'm selling ice cream. Where's your music?"
I used to ride my bike from the town I grew up in to the next town, which was 6 miles away, at like 5, 6 years old. On my bike, on a busy.
Hell, I remember
they weren't super busy roads, but there was definitely curves on there where people could not see me if I was coming down my bike. I was doing this for years.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised I never got took.
My favorite thing to do, like if I was in Pennsylvania visiting my grandparents or anywhere, is go exploring. I used to like to get out of the house, go do stuff, be outside, and I would explore. That's what I would do. And it's like shit. I remember I used to drive my moped from my hometown to the town you were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a haul on a moped. Yeah, and I took the gravels to stay off the highway.
Yeah, that's crazy what we did. While we didn't have video games, we didn't. It was landlines and. I
had a Lego phone.
Yeah, so I mean, your parents couldn't find you if you were outside. I mean, they could, I guess.
They would find you when the lights came on because if I wasn't home when the street lights came on.
Oh, yeah. That was basically it. I knew what time dinner was, so I knew what time I had to be home.
Yeah, I had to be home for dinner and stuff like that. But, like, I spent my entire childhood outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, absolutely. Even, like, when the Nintendo first came out, for a while we played, Duck Hunt and Mario because that's all there was. And then I had the one before that. It wasn't Atari. It was some weird one where the controller looked like almost like a remote with a knob on it with a bunch of buttons. And my favorite game to play on that was Cat and Mouse, which was a total fucking ripoff of Pac-Man.
I don't even know what
it was a straight up 100% ripoff of Pac-Man.
I don't even know what system that is.
I just didn't play a lot of.
I don't know.
I don't know. It wasn't Atari. I know that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
But like even when we got a Nintendo, yeah, we played it for a while. But the only thing is, I remember about you. I remember if a new Final Fantasy movie came out or a game came out, Kevin was checked out for at least a week.
Hell yeah, I had to beat that shit, man.
I was like, kid, you can come over and watch me play. Oh,
Like-
that sounds like a great time.
Like, I love Final Fantasy, man. It was awesome. I still like that game. I still play that on the PS4. So I have a couple Final Fantasies for PS4.
I just remember I come over to your parents' house and talk shit till you got pissed off.
Yeah, then we'd go somewhere because I was like, he's not leaving, and he's not going to let me just play this game.
It's like,
in
I'm
peace.
not leaving, and I'm not shutting up.
So
Let's go do some stuff that's borderline. I wouldn't say illegal.
Yeah, I would. It wasn't illegal. It was just really close to it.
I'm not saying that. See, that's why when kids were younger, they got into mischief because we were out using our imaginations.
Yes. So no one wanted to steal us because we're just bad people.
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody offer me candy? No. Was I an ugly kid?
I'd take that shit. That cop offered you candy when he slammed your face in a squad car.
Yeah. Well, he offered me something.
That was funny. Like when you were telling that story, like the girls were like, "Oh my gosh, poor Kevin." We were just laughing our asses off. It's like you got your ass kicked by the cops.
I did too.
In the middle of rural Iowa.
Luckily, my neighbor saw it and said something to the cop, and he's like, "Oh."
Weren't you wearing one of those like straw cowboy hats with
Yeah. Yeah. I was drunk as hell.
We're obviously 21.
No, we weren't.
So many days.
But I was at my parents' house, so
yeah,
I could drink there legally.
Didn't you pass out in a bean field once too?
Yeah, because I was hiding because it was that same day.
Yeah, it's like
because he said if he had to come back, I'm going to jail.
We all
then
ran.
I saw the cops come, then I jump in a bean field, and I thought I was way in there, but yet I was only like half in a bean field, half completely out, and I fell asleep.
That was great. We all go back to your house after we scattered. We're like, where the hell's Kevin? You come walking in. Oh, yeah, I passed out in the bean field. Good times.
Yeah. That was the same. That was all the same day.
I can't get caught again. He's going to kick my ass.
Again. I already had a concussion. That's probably why I was so tired.
That's great.
All right. So,
well, since we're trying to keep these episodes under an hour, and Elon Musk is such an interesting guy, this will wrap up part 1 of 2 parts of our episode on Elon Musk. The next episode will be coming out on Wednesday, so you get 2 releases this week. So until then, I'm Josh with the lost art of common sense. Common sense!